Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Not Tour podcast. I'm your host, and this is episode number 34. Let me check that actually. Episode 34. I know what my podcast is on. Then episode 34, it is 5:40 p.m. on the 21st of June, 2025. Indian Standard Time, of course. Always Indian Standard Time. I'm low-key. I'm out of it, dude. So the reason that I'm recording kind of late today, I've been recording late for a while now, I feel. Like late in the day. But today specifically, I'm recording late because it's officially midterm season. Yay! So I'm sorry. So every semester we have 2 midterms, which I believe that's the same everywhere. But we have 2 midterms each semester, and today was day 1 of the first midterm. But the thing is, right? We haven't had any classes basically. So our academic year was supposed to start in April. It's currently June. God, I don't know. Okay, I gotta address this. I do have a bit of a runny nose today, so I will be kind of snorting a bit, and I realize that some people probably won't like the sound, but yeah, I mean, I can't really justify that. I'm sorry, I guess maybe skip this one, you know? Anyways, so our academic year was supposed to start in April, but April was the month of Ramadan. Someone's just fucking DM'd me. Shut the fuck up, bro. I need to put this shit on mute. Brother. Okay, whatever. So our academic year was supposed to start in April. My college, unfortunately, is a Muslim majority college, as in like all the students are Muslim. I know of 1, 2, 3, 4. I know 4 non-Muslim students. And like everyone else that I've met is Muslim. And so April was the month of Ramadan. And so, chat, by the way, fun fact, did you know Tung 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 Sahur actually depicts a Indonesian / Malaysian folk creature who would wake people up for sahur, that being the meal before the fasting period during Ramadan. He would wake people up for sahur by going tung 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 tung. Right? It'd be like he had like a metal plate and a stick, and he'd be hitting the plate with the stick, and he'd be like tung 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 sahur sahur. So it's not just like a brainless nonsense mishmash of words. There is actual meaning behind tung 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 sahur. I've narrated this fun fact to a few of my friends. There's no reaction. yet. I did not look that up, by the way. Tung 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 Sahur. I heard about that factoid a couple months ago. Maybe it was during Ramadan. I don't know. But I heard about that little factoid, and I just kind of stored it in the back of my mind. And then, don't ask me how, but yesterday, while I was talking with a couple of my friends, the topic of Tung 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 Sahur came up, and so that's why I remember it. Why did I start talking about Tung 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 Sahur? Hang on. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to watch the Tung 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 Sahur video again. Um. Oh right, yeah. Okay. So April was the month of Ramadan, and so my college kind of gave. Or was it March? It was April or March. I think it was March. But point is, our academic year was supposed to start during Ramadan, but my college just kind of gave us the month off for Ramadan. Ramadan and Eid, I believe. We got a couple extra days off the back of Eid. So we had like a couple, like maybe a week or two worth of classes in April, and then our college kind of got like taken over. It was chosen as like the exam center for some government exams, and so us normal students weren't allowed it. You were only allowed in if you were writing one of those government exams. So that was like half of April gone. Then the entire month of May we had our summer vacation. It was supposed to go from May 1st to May 31st, and then the school year would start again on the 1st of June. But they extended it to the 12th of June because of Eid Part 2, right? So the one after Ramadan, you have that Eid, and then there's another Eid where you like kill a goat. So the goat Eid was at the start of June. That's why I went to Dubai. Fun fact. So yeah, because of that, they extended our vacation for like almost 2 weeks. Which, like, goat Eid is one day, you know. Goat Eid is one day. At most, it's 3 days if you have like if you wanna like 100% it. If you wanna do a full completion of it, yeah, there's like a 3 days long ceremony basically, but it's not 2 weeks long. So we came back to school on the 12th of June, and today is the 21st, and they've already started the first midterms. So that's fun. That's awesome. They didn't really cover much in the classes so far. Like, generally, it was on the subject deep learning technique, which, if you know what a neural network is, it's basically like you feed it an input, and there's a bunch of things called neurons that react to your different inputs, and they either like turn on or turn off, and all the neurons kind of combine together to give a single output. So this subject is all about those, and generally the whole question paper was like, what is deep learning? Okay, how do you do deep learning? Okay, what have people done with deep learning? Okay, how can you use deep learning in the future? It was shit like that, you know. And then my second exam. We have 2 exams in one day for the midterm. It's whatever, dude. It's like 1 hour long each exam. My second exam today was computer networks, and computer networks. The question paper here was actually kind of, it had substance to it, but at the same time, I don't think we've had a single computer networks class. Like, even all the way back in April, I don't think we've had a single one. So, like our professor sent us the note, and I just had to like study from the note. So yeah, finals in July, by the way. Finals in July. Okay, let's not talk about that. Kind of a Debbie Downer. Um, let's talk about something baller that I did earlier this week. I got my license. Eh. Um, so I've been driving for like 6 years, maybe. 7 years actually. I think I learned when I was 13, but I didn't actively drive until I was like 15, 16 maybe. But I did learn when I was 13. I learned how to drive a scooter, a little motorbike type shit. Learned how to drive that when I was 13, and then I learned how to drive a car when I was 16. And I used to drive without a license because I'm a bad boy. I'm putting on sunglasses. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, I know I know you can't see it, but I'm putting on sunglasses. So yeah, I used to drive like no problem, and then I moved here and I turned 18. So I was like, okay, I should probably get my license now. And the way it works in India, you can, like theoretically on paper, you can get a license by yourself. Doesn't fucking work like that. Okay. So what you do, what's like the done thing, is that you go through this guy called a broker, and basically the broker kind of knows. I believe I've like complained about this before on the podcast. But basically the broker kind of knows people within the driving license system, right? And so he kind of like fixes it all for you, and all you really need to do is just like pull up. So I went through a driving school, not a broker, because I wanted to get a little bit of practice in. Because the test here is done in automatic cars, and I've only ever had experience driving. Or no, it's the other way around. The test here is done in a manual transmission, and I've only ever had experience with automatic transmissions. So I wanted to get a little bit of practice in on the manual transmission, shifting the gears and shit. So I went through a driving school. I was like, hey guys, can you like give me a week to practice with one of your cars, and then I'll go ahead and I'll do the test. So they were like, yeah, we can do you for a week. They only did me for like 3 days. Yeah, no. So the fuck. I got distracted. There's a little magnet, by the way. Right. Okay. So I was just like cleaning my table, my desk the other day, and I noticed there was a little magnet attached to my microphone. The tiniest little magnet you ever did see. And I like took it off because magnets can like fuck with the sound waves or some shit, especially on like electronic equipment. I took it off and I was like, whoa, this is gonna make such a big difference. It did not. The magnet is fucking tiny, it's not gonna affect anything. So I also have a staple cube. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos on TikTok or whatever short form video app you prefer. But like in that video, they take a bunch of staples and they like make a cube with it, right? So I have a staple cube on my desk, and I've just been kind of playing with the magnet and the staple cube. So that I've been distracted by that just now. I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Worst fucking podcast in the world. My driving, I think. Right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Um, so I was like, yeah, I'll take a week of driving lessons. Even though they weren't really lessons, they were just giving me the car, and I was just like driving around, and so yeah, it. I paid for like a week of driving around in their car, 7 days. In the end, I only did three, because I did the first 2 days, right, and then the third day the guy didn't show up, so I called him, and he was like, "Yeah, don't worry, bro. I'll call you when, um, when it's your day to drive." And I'm like, okay. And then I waited a couple days, and he called me. He was like, "Yo, bro, pull up. I'm about to reach your house in like 2 minutes. Get out of here." Um, so I went out there. I did my third day, and then the fourth day. Well, yeah, but then the next day rolled around, and he didn't call, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll wait for him to call me. And it kept repeating, it kept repeating, it kept repeating. And then I went to Dubai. So obviously he couldn't teach me driving in Dubai. So that didn't happen. And then while I was in Dubai, my parents were grilling me like, "So, you got your license yet, brother?" Hmm? I don't know why my voice went so high. But yeah, they were grilling me. They were like, "Where's your fucking license, bro?" And I just told them, "Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, 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 for sure." I was actually supposed to get it now, like today. Today I was supposed to go to the driving office place, but I'm here in Dubai. I can't do my driving test in Dubai, you know. But I rescheduled it. I rescheduled it. Soon as I go back to India, I'm going from my fucking plane. I'm going straight to the driving office. You know, so don't worry. There's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Um, so then, as soon as I landed back in India, did a mad fucking dash for my driving school, and I'm like, "Hey, bestie, can you book my fucking test? I don't even want the 4 days of training that you guys owe me. I don't even want it. Can you book my test maybe?" And so the lady at the driving office, she was like, "Oh, you sure? I mean, we can. You already paid for the test, for the lessons. You might as well take them." And I was like, "No, no, I need that license. Pronto." So she was like, "Yeah, alright, man, whatever." So she booked the test, and she was like, "Alright, buddy, here you go. You gotta get to the office tomorrow at like 10." No, 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 okay. So when I booked it, she told me, like, "You gotta pull up to the office tomorrow at 9 a.m. The office is like an hour and a half away from me, so I had to leave at 7:30, I think. Which, I do have trouble getting up of a morning. Probably because I go to sleep at 1 a.m. That's probably not helpful. Um, but I was like, okay, fuck. I mean, I need to go here. So I'll wake up at like 6:30, get ready and skedaddle. And so that's what I did. I mean, I still got to the driving office a bit late. I got there at like 9:15, I think. But yeah, I got there at 9:15, and I called up the driving office. I was like, "Hey, guy, I'm here at the driving office. Where do I go next?" And the driving school people gave me a number. This isn't the broker. They gave me the number of the broker, and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, call him, and he'll like sort everything out for you." So I called him. He was like, "Yeah, man, just come inside. Show the security guard your learner's license." And I got a learner's license when I like signed up to the driving school. So like, show the security guard your learner's license, and then walk inside. Come to like cabin number 2. I'll be chilling there. So I showed the security guard my paper. I went in, um, and I met with the broker guy, and he was like, "Okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go over to those counters over there, and you're gonna show them your learner's license, and they're gonna give you a pink piece of paper, and you're gonna get a stamp on it, and you're gonna go give your fingerprint, and then you're gonna come back here. Okay? So I did all that. I went to the counter, I showed them my learner's license, and they said, well, I'm sorry, sir, I can't give you your pink piece of paper. You haven't paid the fees for your license. And I was like, but what? But I paid them. I paid the driving school money, and they said like they would arrange everything for me, and I just need to like show up there and drive. Um, but they were saying like, oh no, you haven't paid anything. So I was like, okay, well, fuck. What do I do now? So then I called up the driving school, uh, and they were like, yeah, man, just like wait a few minutes, let's wait a bit. And so I waited a bit, and then I went back to the counter, and this time they were like, oh wow, look at that, you paid your fees. And so the driving school was like, oh, the system must be down or something. There must be a server issue. I'm not convinced. I think they genuinely like did not pay, and they're kind of hoping that the counter at the driving office would notice and they just give me my piece of paper, and then they would like pocket the fee. I genuinely think that's what they were trying to do. And then when I called them and they were like, yo, they're saying I'm not paid the fees. That's when they paid it. I think that's what happened. Anyways, so I got my little piece of paper, got my stamp, gave my fingerprint, and then I went back over to the broker guy, and like, yeah, okay, sit down here. My guy's gonna pull up with the car. Because in India, when you go for your driving test, you're supposed to provide your own vehicle. Like, they don't provide you a vehicle at the testing center. You're supposed to bring your own. Which, I don't know how that's supposed to work. Like, through the official channels. I guess you're supposed to know someone who will lend you their car if you don't have one already. Because, I don't think you can buy a car without a driving license. Let me look that up. Can you buy a car without a driver's license? Oh, you do not need a license to buy or register an automobile. Interesting. That's from Quora.com, though. I don't know. I don't know how reliable that source is. Here we go. I found a more reliable source. Reddit.com. Can I buy a car without a license? And top answer: there is no requirement to have a driving license to buy a car. Okay. Well, you do sometimes see like a news story. That's what's missing. Remember when I said like I cleaned up my desk the other day? I put away my pen. This whole time I've been recording the podcast and I'm like, something feels off. I don't have my pen. Hang on, let me get a pen real quick. Cause like genuinely, it doesn't really like affect my psyche to have a pen that I'm waving around. Can I hit the mic there? Here's some zipper ASMR for you guys. Okay, I think I hit the mic again, but that's like the opposite of ASMR. Okay. Right, I have my pen again. This feels much more natural. Where was I? Right, yeah. Sometimes you do see like a news story of like a child star having bought a car. I think I saw one time where it was Lil Tay. Hands up if you remember Lil Tay. I think we're the same age actually. Lil Tay. Oh no, she's younger than me. Oh. What is she famous for nowadays? Is she still famous? Okay, she's a musician. I mean, who isn't? Am I right, chat? Lil Tay buys a car. Yeah. Lil Tay first supercar bought at 9 years old. So yeah, sometimes you do see a news story of like a child star buying a car. Does the Rizzler have a car? The Rizzler feels like he would have bought a car. The Rizzler buys a car. No. No, I don't think the Rizzler has bought a car yet, chat. We bring the boom. We bring the boom to you. Give me a second. I wanna listen to this song again. Although the Rizzler is not part of fuck. Holy shit. Holy shit, that's so loud. Uh, okay. So my headphones are kind of busted. So I have this extension that like boosts the volume of everything. And the video that I was watching just now, it's like exceptionally quiet. So I had my volume booster thing set to like 300%. And then I started this song. And it starts off like with a big boom because they bring the boom. Right? Yeah. They bring the boom. That's what they do. Anyways. Yeah, the Rizzler. I believe the Rizzler is now like the most famous one out of the Costco boys. Oh, sorry, Costco guys. My bad, my bad. Yeah, the Rizzler is the most famous one of the trio, and he's the only one not in their song "We Bring the Boom." He must be there during like the choir segment. Not choir. Choir is the wrong word. But there's a segment where like um their mom joins in. I think the Costco guy, the Costco woman. I suppose. What's the female form of guy? What's the female? Okay, because in my head, guy is like a gender neutral term. But I know some people consider guy to be like only for men. So what's the female equivalent of guy? Gal. Oh yeah, gal, I suppose. Yeah, okay. So the Costco gal, she pulls up in the song once, and it's like a big. There's a bunch of voices in that segment. The Rizzler could quite possibly be in there. Anyways, 6 months ago. This is all popped off 6 months ago. Quite an eventful 6 months for this family. What are is there a Wikipedia article? The Costco guys Wikipedia. There is. There is. Andrew A.J. Befumo Jr. and Eric Justice Befumo, collectively known online as both AJ and Big Justice, and the Costco guys. Okay. So the Costco guys are just the two of them. And then, like, because these two blew up, the Rizzler also um, kind of like rode their coattails, and then he catapulted um, to bigger and higher levels. In May 2024, they signed with talent management company and became full-time content creators. Um, wait, is the Rizzler not related to them? Wait, the Rizzler is not related to the Costco guys. I thought, huh? Okay, my bad. I've been spreading misinformation, it looks like. Okay, I thought you had AJ and Big Justice, and then they're kind of the Costco guys. And then they had a younger brother, and he was the Rizzler. But apparently the Rizzler is like a separate, he's from a separate family. They just kind of collabed. Why the fuck? What? Where the fuck did this happen? How do you think that meeting, like who set it up? Who reached out to who? You know, was it the Rizzler? Did the Rizzler's parents hit up Big Justice? Why would they? Because the Rizzler from New Jersey. The Costco guys are from Florida. What? What? AJ, Big Justice, Rizzler, if you're listening, I'd love to have you on the podcast. You know, we can sort all this out. We can finally quell all this misinformation. Why the fuck did I start talking about these guys? Because I was doing my driving license. Whatever, man. Fucking whatever, alright? This might be the second time that I've talked about these guys on this podcast. I truly have no ideas left. Let me scroll through my episodes. Jake Paul, the Wordle Tree, Linux, Uber, Squid Game, Plumbing, Sisyphus, Spooky Tools, Fellowship, Crypto Scam, Celebration. Have I not talked about the Rizzler before? I feel like I must have. Not that I can see. Huh. Okay, well, anyway, whatever. So, they expect you to pull up with your own... I gotta fucking wrap this up. It's 33 minutes. I went on like a 15-minute long Rizzler diversion. But yeah, so they expect you to pull up in your own car. So would I even have time to talk about the smart bulb that I bought? Probably not. I might have to move that to next episode. They expect you to bring your own car. I obviously did not bring my own car. So the broker guy, like, yeah, wait here, my guy's gonna pull up with the car. His guy pulled up with the car. It was the most run down, rinky dink sack of fucking shit that I've ever seen. The term shitbox is too kind for this car. Anyways, so he pulled up with the car, and you're like, alright, man, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get in the car, you're gonna run through the track, you're gonna do it, okay? And then you're gonna come back. Okay? So along with me, there were like a couple other people with the broker, because of course he's not gonna take on this one client. So I was like the fourth one to go in. So when I got in the car, first things first, the car literally squeaking. Not like that, but it was squeaking. When you would like turn the wheel, with never a good sign. Um, the accelerator was cut, like it was completely disabled, so you had no chance of going over the speed limit. Generally, the only speed you get from that car is from the creep, which is like when you let go of the brake and the car moves forward a bit. That's the only speed you get because the accelerator doesn't work. Um, no AC, of course. I mean, I wasn't expecting AC anyways, but like no AC, and it's basically it's like the same size as Mr. Bean's car, so it had like a really tight turning circle, so you won't like hit anything because the like roads on the testing track are pretty wide. Um, and then the gear, I think they also cut off like every gear except for first and reverse because those are the only gears that you need to drive the car. Um, because again, there's no accelerator. You can't go fast enough to reach second gear, and you can't go fast enough to reach third, fourth, or fifth gear. I don't even know if it had a fifth gear, honestly. Um, so yeah, it was fucked completely. Um, but yeah, okay. So the track, there's a little bit of a like curvy road, and then you go through an H road, which is just two roundabouts, and then you go to like an H. They call it an H turn. Basically, it looks like an H, and then you go straight in to the top right corner of the H, and then you reverse down to the bottom left, and then you move straight up to the top left, and then you reverse to the bottom right, and then you leave the H turn. Um, Fucking everyone was messing it up before I went in. Well, there was one guy. He was 40. He was there to like renew his license, so of course he did it right. But he doesn't count. I'm talking about the newbie here. Every newbie there, I don't know what happened. They like failed at that turn. Failed is a strong word. Like so, in other countries, when you do your driving test, there's like a driving instructor, and he sits with you in the car. Over here, my driving instructor, he was just like chilling in the shade. I was the only one in the car. You know, he was just like kind of chilling in the shade. He wasn't even looking at me, honestly. He was just like using his phone, I think. So, anyways, people kept fucking up the edge turn, dude. I don't know why. Like, someone came in, they went to the top right of the edge, and then they reversed to the bottom right, and then they went straight to the top left, and they reversed into the bottom left, and then they left the edge turn. Another guy, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He went in, top right of the edge, bottom left of the edge. So he thought, okay, you're doing good. Top left of the edge, okay, this is perfect. And then he kind of pulled a U-turn, and he went to the top right of the edge, and then he went to the bottom right of the edge, and then he pulled another. I think I kind of see the logic in it now, but he pulled another U-turn, and he went to the bottom left of the edge, and then he left. So I don't know what's up with that. But I did my edge turn flawlessly, I'll have you know. Um, and then after the edge turn, you just do kind of like a U-turn over some like bumpy terrain, and then that's it. So I did all that. I went over to the uh, driving instructor who was supposed to be watching me the whole time. He was like, "Yeah, yeah, man. All right, good job." I gave him my pink piece of paper, and then I left. And then early next morning, I got like a digital version of my license. So I do officially have a license now. I do officially have a driving license, valid until 2044. But God forbid I'm still in India in 2044. Um, God, am I gonna have that same picture until 2044? Wait. Oh God, it better be a good picture. It better be a good picture. I didn't take note of the picture. It better be a good picture. I've had better. I've had better pictures, but it's not worse. It's not the worst. I've had some really bad pictures. God, my passport picture, I look like the fucking Unabomber. I look like the Unabomber, and I think that's also valid for like another 10 years, maybe. Okay, and then my physical license. I don't know why, but it takes like 8 to 10 days to get it delivered, and there's like no option to pick it up yourself. So I have to wait 8 to 10 days to get my physical license, but whatever. I have my digital one, so that should be all good. Okay, let's end it here. I did have some other stuff I want to talk about, but the Rizzler kind of overtook it. The Rizzler and AJ and Big Justin, great group of guys, but they kind of overtook the podcast here. Okay, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. This has been episode 34 of the Not Tua podcast. That's the Not Tua podcast, Nottuah. I have no affiliation with Haley Welch or the Talk Tua podcast team. I've been your host, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye, everybody.